everyone, this is Poonam Sagar at Indoindians.com, and today I have with me Shareen Ratnani from Kiddie Planet. Hi Shareen.
Hi Poonam.
And Shareen is going to share a few pointers of how parents can make the best use of this time during this pandemic.
Okay. Hi everyone. I'm Shareen, and I'd just like to share a little bit about parenting during this pandemic. I think we've all been thrown into this anxiety producing situation with the coronavirus, with school closures for 2 weeks or maybe even longer than that. And also, I think parents having to juggle with having children at home and their work. And the other scenario where parents just have to have their children at home all day long with a total cut of their general school routines and other routines. It has become quite daunting for some parents, and many of them don't really know what to do, and because there's not too much guidance we have at this
Correct.
point, right? So there's a few things that I would like to say. Firstly, I think it's very important to be very open and honest with children. Children are seeing people wearing masks. Children are not being allowed to go to certain classes and things like that. Children know that schools have closure. Children have online learning. So children have been exposed to a lot of changes in a very short time. And for young children, every change impacts in the way they behave. So I think it's very important for parents at this time to be open to the questions that children have, to answer their curiosities and to answer it in a very simple manner. Explain to children, just like we have the flu, and I'm sure all children have been exposed to the flu at some point or the other in their lives. They know the symptoms of it. So it's better to let them know that this is something like the flu, explain the symptoms of it in very simple manners, but also explain that this is spreading very fast and our doctors don't have a medicine for it yet. So rather than getting children to panic, and rather than telling them don't touch this and don't do that, and getting them completely anxious, explain in simple words about what they should do and what they shouldn't do, because if you get children anxious, you're going to have another ripple effect of other misbehaviors to handle. And in line with this, I think what parents need to do is to have certain routines. For example, hand washing is not an option anymore.
Yeah.
Parents need to teach children how to wash their hands with soap, warm water, and time. So it's no longer, okay, hands are washed and that's it. I think creating this habit of washing hands with soap and warm water for at least 20 seconds is a routine parents need to establish. And with any routine, it needs to be consistent. So I think parents can make it fun. They can have hand washing competitions. They can have different kinds of antiseptic soap. They can come up with different rhymes and songs which last 20 seconds, so the child knows I'm going to wash my hands till 20 seconds.
Like
are over.
happy birthday to you.
Absolutely, like happy birthday to you, or the alphabet song. And of course, there's lots of visuals also available, which you can just stick in front of your child's sink, so it's a constant reminder. And then the other thing is about drinking water. Drinking water and eating healthy food. That's a routine you need to set at home with your child. And in regards to drinking water, have a little water station where everyone in the family has a water bottle. So children are seeing, I'm not being forced to drink water, but even my parents are actually picking up the bottle and drinking it at all times. So these are very simple, important routines. And general hygiene, clipping nails of children so that they're not harboring different bacteria and stuff like that. Setting these basic routines at this point is very, very important. And then I think the third point is monitor what you are watching on TV with your child, and most importantly, how you're reacting to it. You might be watching news all the time, and there may be certain scenes which you can understand. But for a child, that might be totally out of context. He might just look at a visual that can be mentally disturbing to him and throw him into a state of panic. And again, I cannot stop telling you that when children are in panic or anxiety mode, they will misbehave. So it's very important to actually be very mindful of what you're watching, not only on TV, even on your mobile phones. There's a lot of hoax videos and graphics that are being sent, and I think our parents open the video or the graphic, and their faces are thrown into a panic and their jaws are just falling down and they're reacting. Now, children are social learners. You don't need to actually teach them, they're learning all the time. And for them to watch you react like this, you're creating fear. That's not what we want. We want factual information, we want to be calm. And another thing is social distancing. I think the government has started closing off certain places.
Yes, schools and even recreational centers.
Yes.
So that is a big thing, that you are at home, the
Yes.
entire family, and how you can make that useful and productive.
Yeah, I think this is what is very challenging to parents, because not only schools, I understand even centers, after school activity centers are now going to be closed.
Right.
And water parks and other movie theaters, and there's an impact all over to everything that's recreational, all the entertainment is having. So the entertainment of the child is going to be at home, and you as a parent are going to be the entertainer, and that's quite it's not challenging. It could be challenging, but if you're very open and positive towards it, you can actually in fact look at this as a great bonding time with your child, because the children are number one are going to ask you why can't I go here and why can't I go there. And that's why, going back to the point about explaining to children what this virus is and how it spread is very important, because then you don't have to tell them, no, you can't go. You can tell them you can't go and go back to your explanation. And we all know that young children, they're explorers. You go to a mall, they have their hand running through the escalator.
Right.
They want to touch everything that they can touch, and they are touching their mouth, hand and face all the time. So educating children is very important, and then they will start to understand why social distancing. And if your children are really missing their friends, use video conferencing. I mean, it's available, so it's a great way to to get them to talk to their friends.
Maybe you could also highlight on how they could make this a learning experience.
Absolutely. So first of all, when children are meeting friends, I mean, we've not had a lockdown, so we're not sitting home, we are still going out. So I think one of the most important things at this point is to tell children to avoid touching things, and when they meet people, teach them different ways to greet. It starts with that. I mean, we can use elbow bumps, and you can do foot shakes, and we can do our namaste. You can do Javanese or the Japanese bow, and I'm sure there are a lot of other non-contact ways of greeting people. Teach your children how to do that. Practice it at home. Make it fun. So when you're out of the house and you come back home, do a different non-contact greeting with your child, and that's how they will learn it, and that's how they will then do it with other people. So it's about being consistent.
With technology, I know there are lots of free resources now available online.
Yes.
You mentioned that some online resources are now available for free.
Yes. So there is Twinkle, which is actually for educators, and you get a lot of teaching resources there. And Twinkle has now, I think, given out a free 1-month membership to all educators, because children are home, so parents can actually go to twinkle.uk and download a lot of different fun things to do. They also have social stories and stuff like that, which you can use. And of course, there's no dearth of information on YouTube, but then I strongly suggest rather than you just go to YouTube and show your child something, go through it first and then show it to your child, because sometimes you don't know the objective of what
Correct.
you're seeing, so that's very important. And if you are home, then I have a few suggestions. make this time a bonding time with your child, because that's the only way you're going to enjoy it and your child is going to enjoy it. But if you're going to look at it as, oh my God, I've got to sit home, if your attitude is going to be negative, then you're going to have to deal with children who are just going to be as negative as you are. So stay calm and have fun. There's some things that you can do. For example, first of all, instead of just going to the supermarket and hoarding on your food stuff, maybe this is a time for you to actually visit a hobby store or go into a bookshop and start collecting resources that you can use at home. Appropriate books, art materials, maybe canvases to paint together. I mean, it's a great idea. Give your child a canvas and ask him to paint what he thinks the virus looks like. Show him a picture. I mean, there's no end to the creativity that you can do. And if you are at home and you don't have resources, take your child to the kitchen. Make it a cooking activity together. Children absolutely love to cook. Do simple science experiments. Again, there's no dearth of them. There's lots available. Perhaps at another time we can have a little video where we show you how to do simple science experiments at home. And spring cleaning. Since we're talking about hygiene and staying clean, when your children are at home at this time, do some spring cleaning together. You can clean up your home and your surfaces, and even ask children to clean up their book racks or their toy cubbies and things like that. The other thing that you can really do is download some fun children's yoga stuff. They have like dinosaur yoga, laughing yoga, and all of this. Download that and do it with your child. Not only is it going to relax your child, it's going to relax you. And get the daddies and the mommies and everyone together and do it as a group activity. It's going to really create a lot of bonding and calm everyone down at home. I think that's pretty much what I would recommend at this time. However, the situation is changing almost
Every day. It's
every
evolving.
day. We don't know we'll have a lockdown, and if we do, then parents are going to have different challenges to deal with. So for now, this is what I suggest, and I think I'd like to just wind off by saying one thing: don't panic, stay calm, because your vibe is something that your children are actually picking up. So instead of spending the time that you might be spending reading all these forwarded messages on WhatsApp, just stop doing that and spend the time with children.
Thank you, Shareen. That's
Thank you.
really interesting and very important for all parents.
My
Thank you.
pleasure. Thank you, Poonam.